Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're back in the world of Seiko, and if you thought we'd already covered everything this extraordinary Japanese manufacturer has to offer, today's countdown is here to prove just how deep that well truly goes. From heritage dive watch reinterpretations steeped in 1960s history to cocktail-inspired dress watches that turn heads at dinner tables, Seiko continues to produce watches of remarkable personality, genuine craft, and outstanding value across every category it touches. This is a list built for enthusiasts, collectors, and curious newcomers alike. Let's get into it. Number 10, Seiko Prospex, 1965, Heritage Diver, SPB 451. The Seiko Prospex SPB 451 is Seiko's most faithful and heartfelt tribute to the watch that started it all, the 1965 original that made Japan a serious player in the world of professional dive watches. Everything about the SPB 451 is designed with one purpose in mind: to honor that pioneering timepiece as authentically as modern manufacturing standards and materials will allow, while delivering a watch that is fully capable of meeting the demands of contemporary everyday wear. The case proportions are meticulously referenced from the original 1965 design, the distinctive cushion shape, the chunky crown at 4 o'clock, the broad bezel, and the overall silhouette that communicates purposeful vintage character without ever feeling like a costume. The dial presents a warm, beautifully balanced layout with large applied indices filled with generous lume, and a seconds hand tipped with a paddle-shaped luminous plot that is immediately recognizable as a design signature of the era. Inside beats the outstanding caliber 6R35 automatic movement, delivering a full 70-hour power reserve, meaning you can set this watch on a Friday and return to it Monday morning still running with confidence. Sapphire crystal, 200 meters of water resistance, and a solid screw-down case back complete a package of genuine tool watch integrity. The SPB 451 is the watch Seiko produces when it wants to pay the deepest possible respect to its own history, and it does so beautifully. The Seiko Prospex 1965 Heritage Diver SPB 451 retails for approximately $700 USD. Number 9, King Seiko KSK SJE 113. The King Seiko KSK SJE 113 is a watch that carries one of the most storied and emotionally significant names in all of Japanese horology, and the responsibility of that name is something Seiko clearly understood deeply when crafting this extraordinary revival. The original King Seiko KSK, introduced in 1965, represented the absolute pinnacle of what Seiko's Daini Seikosha facility could produce, a watch designed to compete with and ultimately surpass anything Switzerland was offering at the time through an act of fierce, passionate internal competition with the Grand Seiko workshop. That spirit of uncompromising pursuit of perfection is what the SJE 113 channels with remarkable fidelity. The case design is a masterwork of angular Zaratsu polished architecture, sharp, flat surfaces alternating between mirror-bright polish and satin finishing, in a way that makes it look as though it has been carved from a single block of steel rather than assembled from components. The silvery white dial with its precisely applied indices and perfectly proportioned hands achieves a clarity and elegance that embodies everything the King Seiko name was created to represent. The caliber 6L35 inside delivers a 72-hour power reserve with both hacking seconds and hand-winding capability, functional courtesies that make this watch as pleasant to live with as it is beautiful to look at. The SJE 113 is not simply a reissue, it is a declaration that King Seiko's pursuit of perfection was never finished, only paused. The King Seiko KSK SJE 113 retails for approximately $2,000 USD. Number 8, Seiko Presage Sharp-Edged SRP F03. The Seiko Presage Sharp-Edged SRP F03 is one of the most visually distinctive and conceptually original watches Seiko has produced in the modern era, a timepiece that takes its entire design philosophy from the traditional Japanese craft of kiriko, the centuries-old art of cut glass with its precise, faceted geometric surfaces. Every element of the SRP F03's design reflects this inspiration, from the sharply angled case with its precisely defined lines to the dial, where the applied indices and hands are faceted and finished to catch the light in a manner that directly evokes the sparkling, multi-dimensional quality of fine-cut crystal. The blue dial, a deep, rich cobalt that shifts in tone as light moves across it, is produced with a layered finishing process that gives it extraordinary visual depth, almost as though you are looking through glass rather than simply at a dial surface. The case finishing quality on the Sharp Edge series consistently astonishes people who encounter it for the first time, with a level of Zaratsu-influenced polishing and surface definition that feels entirely out of proportion to the watch's price. The caliber 4R35 automatic movement inside provides 41 hours of power reserve with hacking and hand winding, and the Hardlex crystal, Kinsi, while not sapphire, is treated to minimize reflections and maintain legibility. The SRPF-03 is the watch you show people when they claim Seiko doesn't make anything genuinely creative. The Seiko Presage Sharp-Edged SRPF-03 retails for approximately $400 USD. Number 7. Seiko Prospex Speed Timer Pogue SSC813. The Seiko Prospex Speed Timer SSC813. The watch the collector community immediately christened the Pogue after legendary NASA astronaut Colonel William Pogue, who wore its direct ancestor aboard Skylab in 1973, is a watch that carries genuine space exploration heritage on its wrist and wears that history with enormous pride. When Colonel Pogue selected a Seiko chronograph as his personal timepiece during the Skylab 4 mission, making it the first Japanese watch worn in space, he created a piece of horological history that Seiko has honored with deep reverence in every generation of the Pogue tribute since. The SSC813 captures the essence of the original with its striking yellow-accented dial design, bold graphic and immediately legible, with a solar-powered chronograph movement that ensures this tribute to space-age technology carries modern energy harvesting capability befitting its heritage. The tachymeter scale, contrasting sub-dial layouts, and warm yellow accents against the dark dial create a visual drama that is simultaneously retro and contemporary, a genuinely difficult balance to achieve, and one that Seiko pulls off with characteristic confidence. 100 meters of water resistance and a robust stainless steel case ensure the SSC813 is as capable in daily use as its storied ancestor was in orbit. The Seiko Prospex Speed Timer Pogue SSC813 retails for approximately $550 USD. Number 6. Seiko 5. Sports GMT SSK Zegu 05. The Seiko 5 Sports GMT SSK Zegu 5, in its vivid orange configuration, is the watch that fundamentally changed the conversation about what an affordable automatic GMT watch could and should deliver, and the watch world's reaction to it was immediate, enthusiastic, and entirely justified. Before the SSK 05 arrived, genuine automatic GMT functionality at this price point was simply not available from a manufacturer of Seiko's standing and quality pedigree. When Seiko decided to bring GMT capability to the beloved Seiko 5 sports family, they committed fully, delivering a properly functioning, independently adjustable local hour hand against a 24-hour graduated bezel that provides real usable dual time zone display without any compromise or shortcut. The orange colorway is the one that defines the SSK 05's character most boldly, an unapologetic, joyful, high-energy presentation that makes the watch feel alive on the wrist in a way that more conservative dial colors simply cannot replicate. The caliber 4R34 automatic movement delivers the GMT complication alongside 40 hours of power reserve, hacking seconds, and the reassuring reliability of Seiko's decades of automatic movement refinement. The screw-down crown and 100-meter water resistance give it daily wear resilience well beyond what its price suggests. For anyone who has wanted a genuinely functional GMT watch from a respected manufacturer without spending four figures, the SSK Z05 is the definitive answer. The Seiko 5 Sports GMT SSK Z05 retails for approximately $350 USD. Number 5. Seiko Alpinist SPB 121. The Seiko Alpinist SPB 121 is a watch that requires no introduction among serious Seiko enthusiasts, but for those encountering it for the first time, prepare to be immediately captivated by one of the most distinctive and purposeful tool watches Japanese horology has ever produced. The Alpinist lineage stretches back to 1959, born from a genuine commission to produce a watch capable of surviving the brutal conditions of high-altitude mountaineering in the Japanese Alps, A context that demanded compass functionality, exceptional shock and water resistance, and absolute legibility in the most demanding environmental conditions imaginable. The SPB-121 honors that heritage with the internal rotating compass bezel that has always been the alpinist's defining functional feature, operated via the distinctive crown position at 4 o'clock that immediately identifies this watch from any angle. The forest green dial, one of the most celebrated and beloved dial colors in Seiko's entire catalog, has an almost organic depth and richness that photographs consistently fail to capture accurately, shifting between warm olive and deep emerald depending on the quality and direction of available light. The caliber 6R35 automatic movement inside delivers a 70-hour power reserve that makes the SPB-121 a genuinely easy watch to live with, and 200 meters of water resistance ensures it can handle any adventure its wearer demands of it. The SPB-121 is the rare tool watch that works equally well at altitude and at dinner. The Seiko Alpinist SPB-121 retails for approximately $525 USD. Number 4. Seiko Prospex Turtle SRP-77. The Seiko Prospex Turtle SRP-77 is one of those rare watches that transcends its own price point so completely and so consistently that it has become a genuine collector touchstone, a reference that appears in the collections of enthusiasts at every level of the hobby, from first-time buyers to seasoned collectors with display cases full of watches costing many times more. The turtle nickname comes from the distinctive cushion case shape that references the original Seiko 6309 diver of the 1970s, a rounded, organic form with pronounced lugs and a slightly domed profile that gives it an immediately recognizable silhouette, unlike the more angular cases that dominate the modern dive watch landscape. The SRP-77 in its deep blue dial and bezel configuration is the version most collectors point to as the definitive expression of the turtle's character, a rich, layered blue that catches the light with a warmth and depth that feels genuinely premium. The automatic caliber 4R36 inside delivers 41 hours of power reserve with hacking seconds and hand winding, and 200 meters of water resistance confirms its credentials as a serious tool watch rather than a mere fashion accessory. On a rubber strap for diving or a NATO for casual daily wear, the Turtle SRP-777 adapts to every context with effortless versatility. Few watches at any price offer the combination of history, personality, and sheer wearability that the Turtle delivers so consistently. The Seiko Prospex Turtle SRP-777 retails for approximately $300 USD. Number 3. Seiko Presage Cocktail Time SRPB-43. The Seiko Presage Cocktail Time SRPB-43 occupies a unique and deeply special position in the Seiko catalog, a watch that doesn't try to be a tool, doesn't chase sportiness, and doesn't compete with anything else in the lineup because it exists in an entirely different emotional register. The Cocktail Time series draws its inspiration from the world of sophisticated mixology, specifically from the iridescent, jewel-like quality of fine spirits and liqueurs caught in the warm light of an upscale bar at the beginning of an evening that holds limitless promise. The SRPB-43 realizes this concept through one of the most mesmerizing dial treatments Seiko has ever produced, a rich, deeply layered surface that shifts between warm amber, burnt orange, and flickering gold as the light plays across it, evoking the precise quality of aged whiskey or fine cognac in a crystal glass. The open heart aperture at 6 o'clock reveals the oscillating balance wheel of the 4R38 automatic movement beneath, adding a window of mechanical theater that gives the watch an additional dimension of visual interest beyond the already captivating dial surface. Applied faceted indices and elegantly proportioned hands complete a dial picture that looks genuinely expensive, the kind of finishing detail you expect at a significantly higher price. On a brown leather strap, the SRPB-43 becomes one of the most charming and characterful dress watches available anywhere near its price point. The Seiko Presage Cocktail Time SRPB-43 retails for approximately $350 USD. Number 2. Seiko 5. Sports SRPD-51. The Seiko 5. Sports SRPD-51 needs no elaborate justification for its place near the very top of today's countdown. because the watch community has already made its case with years of enthusiastic, near-universal recommendation that has elevated this reference to something approaching legendary status among affordable automatic watches. Ask virtually any experienced watch collector where a newcomer to mechanical horology should begin their journey, and a significant number will point directly at the SRPD 51 without hesitation. The reasons are numerous and entirely legitimate. The bold sport-forward case design with its crown guards, dramatic dial angles, and commanding presence gives it a visual confidence that makes it look at home on the wrist of someone who has been collecting for 30 years. The deep blue dial with its applied arrow-shaped indices and luminous hands reads with total clarity in any light condition, and the lume quality is genuinely impressive for a watch at this price. The 4R36 automatic movement provides 41 hours of power reserve, hacking seconds for precise time setting, and hand-winding capability, a feature set that makes daily life with this watch completely effortless. 100 meters of water resistance handles everything from swimming to rain without anxiety. What the SRPD 51 ultimately delivers is something that cannot be engineered into a specification sheet, a sense of genuine personality and character that makes you want to put it on every morning. That quality is rare at any price. At this price, it is extraordinary. The Seiko 5 Sports SRPD 51 retails for approximately $275 USD. Number 1. Seiko Prospex Samurai SRPE 93. The Seiko Prospex Samurai SRPE 93 claims the top position on today's countdown as one of the most iconic, most beloved, and most fiercely individual dive watch designs the entire affordable watch market has ever produced. A timepiece whose devoted global following speaks more eloquently about its qualities than any reviewer's words ever could. The Samurai name is no casual marketing invention. It reflects something genuine and visible in the watch's design DNA. The sharply angular, aggressively faceted case architecture that draws direct visual inspiration from the protective armor of Japan's legendary warrior class, creating a silhouette of unmistakable purpose and controlled aggression that sets it apart from every rounded, conventional dive watch competing for attention alongside it. The SRPE 93 presents this celebrated case in a deep ocean blue dial and bezel combination that gives it an elemental underwater quality, a blue so rich and layered that it seems to contain genuine depth rather than simply sitting on the surface. The lume application is generous and highly effective, delivering excellent underwater legibility that confirms the Samurai's credentials as a serious tool rather than a decorative piece. 200 meters of water resistance, a unidirectional stainless steel bezel, and a screw-down crown check every technical box a dive watch certification demands. The automatic caliber 4R35 inside provides 41 hours of power reserve with hacking seconds and hand-winding, practical features that make the Samurai a pleasure to own and wear every day. On its rubber strap for active water use or swap to a steel bracelet for a more dressed-up presentation, the Samurai adapts with remarkable versatility while never losing its fundamental character. This is the dive watch that collectors return to again and again regardless of what else enters their collection, the one that started for many as a starter watch and became, through sheer force of personality and quality, a permanent resident on the wrist. The Seiko Prospex Samurai SRPE 93 retails for approximately $400 USD, a price that feels almost unreasonably generous for everything it delivers.